Hi, I'm Alex Paulton. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where I go over some of my thoughts on various watches, usually from my own collection. Today, let's take a look at the Hamilton Khaki Field. It's available in a lot of configurations. This is what they would call an officer's configuration because it's got the highly polished bezel, which means you can get away with wearing it with a leather strap and a suit, and it would actually look really nice with a leather strap and in a suit. I have it currently on a NATO, but that's only because I use this as my beater watch if I'm going to a open air concert or something of that nature. The beautiful part about this watch is that it's a very nice classic way to tell time. It's very well loomed, and it's got a date complication, and it's got a display back and automatic movement to show off the automatic movement. It is available with manual movement, but this is an automatic version, like I was saying, more of an officer style. But then again, depending how you look at it, hand wound could be officers, depending if you look at hand wound as basic or as hand wound as sophisticated, which is the topic of another video, I guess, coming up sometime soon. But let's flip the camera and take a close look at this beautiful timepiece. So here we are with the Hamilton Khaki Field. This is, I said, the automatic version, kind of officer style, as they say, because of the shiny bezel. It has date function. It's an automatic. Depending on how you look at it, automatic versus hand wound is either a high-end versus a low-end issue or a sophisticated versus basic issue. In this case, Field Watch, I'm going to say that they figured officers were too lazy to wind their own watches. Ha ha. Enlisted joke, I'm an Army veteran. As I said, the shiny bezel does give you a lot of opportunity to change around the look of the piece. It's actually more of a neutral gray face. I've got a blue strap on it, a blue NATO, and the face comes across as a little blue, especially with the blue background of my table. But if you put a black strap on it, it would look more black. A gray strap, it would look more gray. It's kind of got like that neutral gray coloring to the face, maybe with a bit of a blue cast to it. The dial is nicely loomed, and as I said, because of its shiny bezel and nice presentation, you can put a leather strap on this and wear it with a suit. So this would make an excellent daily wear watch, or in a higher end collection, this could be your beater that you take to the park or to a rock concert or something that you don't mind if it gets beaten up, but it still looks nice and it's a high quality time piece. Now, flip it over and we take a look. You'll see that it does have a display back with the Hamilton. It's an ETA-based movement, but since Hamilton's owned by Swatch, you could almost make the argument that it's an in-house movement, but it Hamilton does tweak it a little, most by putting their name on the counterweight, but they do some other things to it to increase the power reserve and the like, and has a sapphire display back, which is nice for a field watch. Sapphire face, of course, crystal, to keep it nice and scratch resistant on the front end, but to have a nice little display window on the back of what would you think of as a rugged watch adds a little bit of hidden elegance to an otherwise relatively neutral looking piece. That's the nice thing about the khaki. You know, it's nicer than a mullet in that it's business up front and party in the rear without being self-ironic. So let's take a quick look at some measurements on this thing. Turn it on. And we've got a 42 millimeter case. Yep, 42 millimeter case. A little big, but a good size for a large wrist. It's also, as I was saying, you know, the other side about Officer is that it's a larger case. Yeah, 42. That it's a larger case as well. which makes for a nicer presentation. And in this case, since it does have the second crawl on the inside of from 13 to 24 as a military style watch, the fact that it is a larger face keeps it from looking too bunched up and crowded. The lug width is 22 on the nose. It's good that it's an even number. Can put all kinds of NATO straps and leather straps on it, and even metal straps. And this on a metal strap would probably look really nice. Now, it is not a screw-down crown, but it is water resistant. Let's take a quick look at the thickness. It's relatively thin but thick for a three-hander with date at 10.7. And like I said, all in all, a very nice field watch, an excellent daily wear, and an all-around good watch for anyone's collection. Wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Bulova Ambassador, very nice micro rotor design. I've got a video up on this on the archive. Check it out, please. And also subscribe if you like any of this. I post relatively irregularly because this is a hobby site, but I do post, and if you want to know when the next episode is coming out, subscribe and you'll find out. So let's take off the Bulova and let's throw on the Hamilton so that we can get an idea what it looks like on the wrist. The 22mm wide strap gives, on a NATO, gives it some good wrist presence as far as a sporty watch. And the 42, it sits nicely on the wrist. The lugs are relatively sharply curved down. So you've got a good wrist presence in the sense that it's not very thick. You could wear it with and a sleeve will slide over it. It's got sharply curving lugs so that it's not going to really be too dominant on your wrist. And at 42, it's just the right size. More than 42 would be too big, but at 42, this really does provide a nice presence on the wrist and gives you a really good day-to-day watch to wear. So let's turn the camera around and say goodbye. So that was the Hamilton Khaki Field. Just a great all-around daily wear watch that if you need to dress up, you can dress up. Thanks for taking the time to be with me. Have a great day.